को भी एक परिवार मानते हैं। भारतीय कहीं भी रहे, एक मानवीय भाव उनमें समाहित रहता है। आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भारत के कल्चरल एम्बेसडर हैं, भारत के ब्रांड एम्बेसडर्स हैं। भारत माता की।
Viewers, you're watching India Upfront, and we are going to keep focusing on Prime Minister Modi's visit to Australia and the grand reception he's received there, not just from the Australian government, but also members of the Indian diaspora, as you can see on your screens. And the question that we're going to begin with tonight, viewers, is Brand Modi the boss of political brands, of all political brands, especially here in our country, in India? Now, I know many in Latvian's circuit will roll their eyes because I've posed this question tonight. They'll say, here goes another anchor, a pliable anchor at that, talking up the prospects of Narendra Modi in the press ahead of the 2024 general elections. I'm prepared, viewers, to face that line of inquiry. But the fact is that I am not the one who called Prime Minister the boss. His popularity among a set of Indians living in Australia has floored yet another global leader, and I'm talking about Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Now, he's on your screens, viewers. He joined the Prime Minister to be part of this Diaspora Connect event. Remember, just a few days ago in Japan, Albanese confessed that he had been unable to accommodate requests from many people desperate to attend this massive Diaspora Connect event with Prime Minister Modi in Sydney at this particular arena, despite the stadium having a capacity of 20,000. And that's, by Australian standards, a big stadium. Viewers, by international standards, also quite a big stadium. And today, predictably, as the Indian diaspora poured in for the grand event in Sydney and packed this entire venue to the rafters, an amazed Albanese compared Prime Minister Modi's popularity to that of legendary rock star Bruce Springsteen, who is also known by the fans as the boss. Albanese said that he had seen a number of people show up to watch a concert by the boss, by Bruce Springsteen, but he couldn't recall whether Mr. Springsteen got the same voluble reception that the Prime Minister got today in this arena in Sydney. Now, Albanese's statements sound very much like the sentiments expressed by US President Joe Biden, who also revealed, coincidentally in Japan, he was jealous of Modi's popularity. And look what Biden is supposed to have told Mr. Modi in that meeting of Quad leaders. He said, "You're making a difference. You're just too popular." And he goes on to say, "I should take your autograph." He also went on to say, viewers, that I am getting requests from the who's who of America to attend the dinner that I'm hosting for you later in June. Remember, viewers, for the first time in Biden's presidency, the Prime Minister is going to be honored as a state guest in the United States. He's going to be welcomed as a state guest. And there is obviously a bunch of events lined up where President Biden hopes to felicitate the Indian Prime Minister. Now, viewers, let's first listen in to what Anthony Albanese said about Modi and the context in which he said it in. Listen in.
A It is a huge pleasure to welcome Prime Minister Modi to Australia. I have to say that the warmth and the energy here tonight is absolutely second to none. I said to my friend, the Prime Minister, before, the last time I saw someone on the stage here was Bruce Springsteen, and he didn't get the welcome that Prime Minister Modi has got. Prime Minister Modi is the boss.
Now, viewers, popularity is, of course, a measure of all politicians, and their success in forming a connect with the public, and therefore the opposition, not surprisingly, scoffed really at what they were seeing on stage, saying that, look, it's fine. He gets all this love and all of that from an Indian diaspora that is still desperately wanting to reconnect with its Indian roots, and a function like this sort of makes them all nostalgic. But if he was such a big brand, why is he not connecting with Indian voters and sweeping all elections, especially the one in Karnataka, for instance? This is what the opposition has been saying.
अभी बैंगलोर से आ रहा हूँ, वहाँ पे भी बैंगलोर में भी प्रधानमंत्री ऐसे ऐसे कर रहे थे. कोई सुपरस्टार तो वहाँ किसी ने बोला नहीं, ना तो मन से बोला ना मुंह से बोला. तो अब वो जो भी बोल रहे हैं, अब मैं उनके बारे में क्या बोलूं कि भाई कौन कुछ भी कह रहे हैं कि सुपरस्टार है, बॉस है. अब मैं तो देश में लोग क्या कह रहे हैं उसके बारे में मेरी रुचि ज़्यादा है कि देश के लोग क्या कह रहे हैं, और देश के लोगों ने क्या कहा. वो 13 तारीख को आपने देखा कि देश के लोगों ने प्रधानमंत्री जी को क्या कहा.
PM's visit to various countries during the past 3 days in fact is widely publicized because he has been praised and appreciated, well received, which is certainly a matter of pride and honor for the country. But only question that arises is that if he has been appreciated so much abroad, how is it that just last week he has been summarily rejected by the local people in the state of Karnataka?
Now let's ask the basic question of our panel as also viewers. Let me just put that question out there and try to adduce some reasons. And here I always bring you face to face with the hard facts. This is a show that is known for its commitment, viewers, to the hard facts, because facts have fans, as you know, viewers, and they keep coming back for more. And that's the endeavor here. I want you to be better informed. So first, let's just go over a quick bunch of fans. I've given you a preview of who's on our panel. Illustrious names here. But is it true that brand Modi is a supersized political brand? Let's look at some of brand Modi's important achievements, especially with regards to what it does for the BJP. Well, the BJP under Modi broke 25 years of coalition cycle in 2014, viewers. Modi powered record victory for the BJP in 2019, putting the BJP past the 300 mark, 303 seats. The NDA, of course, went up also because of what many people see was the Modi effect. Modi helped the BJP retain Uttar Pradesh, the first party to do so in 37 years. So it broke a trend where incumbent governments were booted out. And why we picked Uttar Pradesh, viewers, at the assembly level? Only because it is actually India's most politically significant state, sending 80 members of parliament in a house of 543. BJP enters Northeast with Assam as the first state in 2016. Record tally for the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections in Bengal in 2019, another important state where the BJP was actually a non-player. BJP's vote share has grown 23% under Modi, the national stage, viewers, since the 2014 election, the Lok Sabha election. That's a huge jump. It's gone from 31 to 38%, which is 23% jump. Now, viewers, let's just flip the coin. Modi's robust political equity, one could say, stands in sharp contrast to the brand equity of several other important Indian politicians, some of who are looking to challenge him in 2024. Let's look at the facts. And here, viewers, I'm only stating the facts. These are not colored. I'm not cherry-picking anything. Let's look at brand Rahul Gandhi. Now, it's a fact, viewers, in 2013, he's projected as the vice president of the party. He's projected as their campaigner. With Rahul as VP, Congress reduced to 44 seats. In 2014-2019, a minimal rise in vote share from 19.1 to 19.7%, but between 2009 and 19, Congress vote share down 31%, viewers. So in 10 years, it collapses by 31%. The Congress today rules only in 3 states on its own. As of 2023, it's an alliance in 2 other states. That tells you a little bit about where the Congress has been under brand Rahul. What about brand Mamata Banerjee? Since 2011, viewers, or Nitish, for instance. Let's look at Nitish first. JDU has been reduced to number 3 in 2020 state polls in Bihar. That's what's happened to the JDU. It's even behind the Bharatiya Janata Party today. Let's have a look at another point. It has been forced to ally with tainted RJD, which is denting the Sushashan Babu image of Nitish Kumar. Now, why would you have to do that if your brand was actually on the up? You would actually be making the choices. You would be setting the preconditions. You would be picking alliance partners, not desperately running to try and salvage your political future. Brand Mamata Banerjee, 2014 to 2019 Lok Sabha seats down from 34 to 22. Electoral forays into other states have flopped. TMC has lost its national party tag status this year under Mamata Banerjee. That couldn't be a pleasant place to be in. On the other hand, look at brand Kejriwal. AAP has made gains in Punjab, Gujarat, Goa. In 2014 to 2019, its Lok Sabha vote share is down from 33.1% to about 18%, but it has grown, viewers. It has got 2 state governments, and as I told you, it's made entries. Impressive by a young party standards in other states. So, brand Kejriwal might be today a little bit controversial because of the corruption cases against some of the cabinet ministers here in Delhi, but certainly one can't say that, look, it's waning. In fact, it's got national party status under Kejriwal. So let's just open this up and let's ask some basic questions. And I want to begin with first Dr. Riju Datta of the TMC, national spokesperson, needs no introduction. And I'll tell everybody that after that, I'll go to Dr. Ranganathan, and after that, I'm going to bring in the BJP's spokesperson, national spokesperson, who's very well schooled with facts also. So let's have an debate which is well informed. Let's not speak over each other. Let's keep this above board also. Riju Datta, the Modi brand, I've just shown you some statistics, seems to be doing better than other political brands, other names. It has traction in several states where the BJP is making inroads. So I'm asking you 2 questions now. Why is this so? Why is the BJP growing? Secondly, why don't other political brands have similar traction among voters beyond the bastions from where they are originating? Why is this the case?
Narendra Modi, as BJP's leader, as India's Prime Minister, is a tall leader and is a very big brand, undoubted. If I say I doubt that, I will be lying on national television. But the problem is that BJP has only one leader, and that is Narendra Modi. Similarly, what I will say is that in 2014, after they came into power, if you see the India map of 2017, you will see most of India as saffron. But after that, coming to 2023, there is no BJP in south of India, no BJP in east of India. Narendra Modi has been garnering a lot of respect internationally, which is a moment of pride for all Indians, even though I have not voted for him or I criticize him. But if my PM gets, respect internationally, good for the country. But unfortunately, the Prime Minister of Australia, Papua New Guinea or Fiji is not a voter of India. In India, there are a lot of burning issues like, like unemployment, inflation, and I believe
2024 is going to be an election of change. It is going to be BJP versus the people of India. If you go by the statistics, yes, I do agree that based on the statistics of brand image of Narendra Modi, there is not one single leader. However, there are others with a better CV than him. But countering him will be a joint effort where all the like-minded opposition parties will come together and the people of India will vote against not Mr. Modi, but against his party, his government's shoddy politics, his party's atrocities, his use of agencies. And we will see that in 2024, the people of India will win eventually.
Okay, so just a couple of fact checks here. Yes, Modi may not have a government in the south, as in the BJP may not have a government in the south, but it has a vote share which is quite impressive in certain states. In Kerala, 11.4%, Karnataka, 36%, Andhra and Telangana, new states, where it even has some members of parliament as well, of course, as an impressive vote share. In fact, in one of the states, it is now the principal opposition. So it is a project that is actually on the rise. Now, you've said he's a formidable brand, so I'm giving you credit for your honesty, but just to course correct there, and you said there's only one asset. Well, there are many political parties that just have one asset. Can you name me any other political leader in the AAP besides Kejriwal or in the TMC besides Mamata Banerjee that she would trust with making
I know this would have come up.
Brand? No, that's okay. I mean,
this would definitely come.
Yeah.
Yes. So in my party also it is Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee, and I'm saying it on record. Yes, they
Abhishek Banerjee. Fine. I mean, it's just an extension of the family in that sense. So I wouldn't have sort of doubted what you were saying. Undoubtedly, he's a successor, but can he win the elections? I don't know. So that's something that we have to watch and wait and find out. No disrespect to, of course, Abhishek Banerjee. He is an eloquent politician. Dr. Ranganathan, let me ask you, why is Modi earning praise? Now, we've heard the opposition. Is it all pre-scripted to give Modi an ego massage? And if so, why didn't world leaders give such an ego massage to other Indian prime ministers, especially when India has been incredible for a while now? That's what the opposition says. For 70 years, we have been incredible, more so after Manmohan Singh, etc. So, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Doctor?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes,
okay, so the quick question is, why is Modi earning praise globally, has a following here in India, his brand has traction? Is it all pre-scripted, event managed to give Modi an ego massage? And if so, why didn't world leaders give such ego massages to other Indian prime ministers, even though brand India has been incredible for some time now?
Yeah, Rahul, good evening to you and to my fellow panelists. There are two issues here. The first one is undoubtedly Modi is one of the strongest and most powerful leaders in India and abroad. And as Judah has said, that
as well as hatred. I mean, if you are powerful, you are hated. I mean, as you know, New York Times and Washington Post don't go after the president of Papua New Guinea, do they? But they've been relentlessly after Narendra Modi. So that's that. Now, and by the way, I think you asked for who's number 2 in TMC. It's definitely after Mamata Dey. But if I say it is Rijuda, then he'll be removed. So I will not say it is Rijuda. But, we can tackle this complex question that you've asked in two ways. One, we can be cynical about it, and we can be philosophical about it. So let me just put my facts on the table. If we are to be cynical, Rahul, then there are 3 or 4 points. Number one, India is now quickly getting immensely powerful and strong and with a huge financial purse to spend. And we've seen that, how the Western nations and other nations are garnering for a stake in this pie. You saw recently when India bought those tens of hundreds of planes, how the president and prime ministers of the countries that were involved in selling those planes tweeted almost immediately their vociferous praise towards India and Narendra Modi. So obviously business interests are paramount for these nations. Number two, it also cannot be ignored that they have their domestic constituencies that are immigrant Indians. So as you rightly put it, in the UK it is Labour and Conservatives, and in the Americas it is Democrats and Republicans, and they have their own share of Indians who support these parties. So something to do with that as well. And thirdly, I think that is very important, and a foreign policy expert would possibly tell you that they are clearly using India as a counter to China. Now, how have we fared is my worry, because China, that clearly destroyed the world in the last 3 years, responsible for COVID, destroyed the economy, and much worse. We should have actually replaced China, like government organizations in India had predicted, that 87% of what we source from China can be sourced from a third country cheaper. There should have been a white paper as to how many companies we have wrested from China and brought to India. So, on the other hand, our trade imbalance has, catapulted to astronomical levels of $101 and $102 billion. So, we should not have been trading that much with China, and what we're doing is the opposite. So, that remains a worry. Now, let me come to the philosophical part, because enough of cynicism. When Modi talks about Vishwaguru, India being a Vishwaguru, just 30 seconds, what does he mean by this? Personally, I believe that he truly imbibes and wants to popularize this phrase that he uses very often, which is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which is also the motto of G20. Now, I haven't personally known of a phrase that is so scientifically accurate, that talks about the world being a family and the world prospering only because the world being a family. Now, let us look at India. Despite of what, all the accusations that come, from Washington Post and all these fancy media organizations, India is one of the most friendly countries, 34th most friendly country in the world. Our refugee policy has been hailed by none other than UNHCR. We trade with 194 countries around the world. We trade worth $1.4 trillion. We are a signatory to the Paris climate deal, even though many Western nations balked away from it. But we, much to our own discomfort, have decided that no, India must put its foot forward so that the world is happy at large. So, these are all qualities that I think the world, away from cynicism, is appreciating. And Modi is at the forefront of it, so good luck to him.
Okay, good luck to him. Let me bring in Ms. Verma. Now, there are a couple of things, Ms. Verma, and I'm going to take off from Dr. Ranganathan and be a little cynical. I wear that hat sometimes when, especially you are there on the channel. So, it's Tuesday and it's Ms. Verma's day, and for me to be cynical, so let me begin. Albanese has called Modi the boss. Isn't it true that the Indian vote in Australia or in the US, or for that matter in the UK, cannot be ignored anymore? That's my first question to you. Secondly, I'll supply some figures to what Dr. Ranganathan was talking about. So we go out there, now we have a lot of money sloshing around in our pockets. Just how much? Let me tell you, defense spending by India viewers, we're the 4th largest defense spenders last year. In fact, this figure has gone up by 47% since 2013. So we are spending about $81.4 billion. Now, anyone would want a chunk of that, especially economies like the UK that can't decide whether they should be on which side of the channel anymore and whether they have jobs or not, or the poor French who are finding it difficult to stave off pitchforked, armed farmers, or if you look across the border in America where they're jousting really with an inflation that's, quite towering. So obviously they want your money and they're going to say nice things about Mr. Modi. How do you respond to all of this?
Okay. Rahul, I welcome your cynicism, and I have no qualms in admitting India Upfront remains one of my favorite shows, both as a panelist and as a viewer. Now, let me come to the meat of the debate. And the meat of the debate is this. I will divide it, and very quickly, without being verbose, into two halves. Modi's achievements in the global arena as a global statesman, as India's best brand ambassador, and of course, closer at home at the hustings. Because finally, you cannot talk about Modi without talking about electoral politics in India. I think you've summed it up very well, but for the benefit of your viewers, let's look at what Modi has achieved in terms of a paradigm shift in the entire electoral narrative. People would accuse me of being arrogant, but I have this to say. Not only did Narendra Modi win 2 thumping victories, with 17.6 crore voters voting for BJP-led NDA in 2014, followed by about 23 crore voters in 2019, which translates into a 31% jump. But more importantly, look at the manner in which the entire opposition has been decimated. And I will quickly give you some numbers. What is the strength of Aam Aadmi Party in the Lok Sabha today? 1 seat, and that was after winning the recent Jalandhar by-election where their candidate Sushil Rinku won. Otherwise, the tally would have been 0. How many seats does the JDU have in Lok Sabha? 16. How many does the BRS have? 9. How many does the RJD have? 0. How many does the TMC have? 22. How many does the Samajwadi Party have? 3. Now, the grand total is how much? It is 51. On the other side, you have the Congress at 52. I'm not talking of BJD, DMK, etc. because they are currently holding their cards close to their chest. So on the one side, you have a fractious alliance of 51 seats in the Lok Sabha. You add the Congress to that, 52 seats. You have another fractious alliance of 103 seats. 103 seats versus 303 of the BJP-led NDA under the aegis of Narendra Modi. Is there any competition? Absolutely not. Am I being arrogant? No, I'm being realistic. I'm showing the mirror to people who believe that one swallow makes a summer. You people, and when I say you, it is everybody from the other side who's been taking pot shots at the BJP for losing the Karnataka Assembly elections. Of course, that loss has hurt. That loss has been very upsetting. I will lie if I were to say all is hunky-dory. All is not hunky-dory, but let me ask you a simple question. Forget 2019 when we won 25 out of the 28 seats in Karnataka in Lok Sabha. Look at the history of the BJP in Karnataka in 2004, 2009, 2014 Lok Sabha. Our lowest tally was 17 seats in 2014. Prior to that, we won 19 seats. What has been the Congress tally? The highest tally of the Congress has not been more than 9 seats. Again, absolutely no comparison. Now the most important thing, very quickly, on the economic front, I will repeat what Prime Minister Modi said today. I heard that clip at least half a dozen times. Which is the country which undertook the world's largest vaccination drive? India. Which is the fastest growing economy for the 3rd year running? India. Which is the world's 2nd largest mobile manufacturer? India. Which has the world's highest fintech adoption rate? India. Which has the world's 2nd largest number of internet users? India. Which is the world's 2nd largest two-wheeler manufacturer? India. Which is the world's 4th largest automobile manufacturer? India. Which is the world's 3rd largest electricity producer? India. Which is the world's 2nd largest steel manufacturer? India. Which is the world's 6th largest stock market in terms of market capitalization? India. And when did all this happen? All this happened under the aegis of none other but Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So before you take pot shots at him, look at his credibility and track record. And Rahul, I came across a very interesting quote when I was doing homework for your debate. Last year, Piyush Goyal was in Australia and he signed the ECTA, Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement, to boost bilateral commercial ties with Australia. And after signing the deal, he said ECTA has been negotiated with the speed of Brett Lee and with the perfection of Sachin Tendulkar. And I will go one step further and say that when I see Prime Minister Modi, forget my party affiliation. I mean, I'm not some career politician. I'm a career investment banker. But as a proud tax-paying Indian, I'm reminded of John Maxwell, who said, a great leader is one who goes the way, knows the way, shows the way. And there is somebody else who says a great leader is somebody who knows when to lead, but when to take a step back. But in the case of Narendra Modi, there is no stepping back because the entire opposition, Rahul, 20 seconds, Sonia Gandhi plus Rahul Gandhi plus Tejasvi Yadav plus Lalu Prasad Yadav plus Akhilesh Yadav plus Arvind Kejriwal plus Mamata Banerjee plus Siddaramaiah plus DK Shivkumar, all put together on the one side, and Narendra Modi, ek akela sab par bhari.
Well, that of course you will only know in 2024 when the ballots are opened and the votes are counted. But from a rhetorical point of view, Sanju Verma, you are allowed to say that and allowed obviously to put those facts before us.
Rahul.
Yes. No, you're allowed to say that. And that's with, look, one cannot deny Modi's outreach. And why are some of these... Now, let me tell you, viewers, let me just give you a couple of facts, and I want to bring you in, Dr. Datta, once again. Modi, the first Prime Minister from India to visit Australia in 28 years. There's an opportunity there, so he's there. First Prime Minister from India to visit Nepal in 17 years. Opportunity there. Nepal is a very vital cog in India's security wheel. We know that, so he landed up there. First Indian Prime Minister to visit Papua New Guinea when he went there this month. Now, why would he be doing that? Because some people say that that's because it's very critical that some of these global South nations, for example, stand with India when it comes to important issues and the articulation of them, which are in India's interest in important multilateral forums. I just want to ask you, how many votes, how many resolutions, crucial ones, has India lost in the UNGA, for instance? It's only because of the support of all these nations. UAE, 30 years, no Indian Prime Minister had gone there. Israel, first Indian Prime Minister. He gets things from there. He's using them, obviously, to leverage India's growth story. First Indian Prime Minister to visit Ireland after Nehru in 1956, and Ireland has become the back office for Europe now, viewers. So there is a lot to be gained there. First Indian Prime Minister to visit Portugal. Yes, in 2017 for a bilateral visit. Why would he have to do that? So, Dr. Riju, there's that part, which is, I think, what Dr. Ranganathan referred to as the foreign policy game, which is on steroids. And he does a good job rallying the world. He's building alliances, which are proving extremely consequential. And then, of course, there is, look, no free lunch in diplomacy. So you take a little bit and you, yeah, Dr. Ranganathan, raising your hand. And I want to come back to Dr. Riju. Yeah. Yeah.
Before Rijuda comes in, I just want to say it, perhaps I might be wrong because I'm not a foreign policy, leave alone an expert, but perhaps for the first time in our independent history, we are truly non-aligned. I mean, we ran this sham of a non-alignment for like 30, 40 years when we were totally aligned with the Soviet Union and against America. But we said we are non-aligned. But right now, this war of Russia with Ukraine has actually illuminated how truly non-aligned we are. So I think things are changing.
I disagree with you, Dr. Ranganathan. We are very aligned. We are aligned to India and India's self-interest. Right. That's where we are aligned. And I think that is really critical. And I think no one can deny that, even when it came to the vaccine game, viewers. Yeah. And let me bring in Dr. Riju. Dr. Riju, I mean, you have a large number. I mean, just look at what the leaders of the West Indies said about the Prime Minister. He said when countries were sort of holding on parochially to the vaccine, here India came in and gave us vaccines. Surely that counts for something, Dr. Riju Datta, and that elevates a country's profile, and along with it, the leaders who makes the decision to do this.
Of course. Now, because I belong from a political party which is in the opposition to the BJP, so now let me also state some facts.
Sure.
Yes, when people say that, and obviously before I start, I do not want to sound arrogant, but neither I want to sound like a sycophant. So let me put some facts. After all these foreign visits and foreign tours, why is the rupee so weak against the dollar? What is the passport power? Apart from Bangkok, Maldives and 2-3 places, we are not in comparison with other countries. And I'm stating facts, and correct me if I'm wrong. Why is, and Dr. Ranganathan will correlate with me, that from 2014 to 2023, after all that China has done on this country, after grabbing our land, beating our soldiers, why are we trading almost double compared to 2014 with China now? What is happening with the Pakistan is per capita debt, because we are the most populated country in the world right now. What is the situation there? Mm-hmm. Why is India highest on infant mortality rate in the world? So, there are good things, there are bad things. But I believe the Prime Minister can go to all foreign nations. He can garner respect from there. That is respect for India as well. But calling the Prime Minister as somebody who can decimate everybody is in the wrong thing. Because being the premier of the world's largest party, I also want to point out that he himself, when he came for 2030 rallies from 2014 to 2021, he has been thrashed by a local regional party like Trinamool Congress. So it is very good to be the biggest brand, but it is very unfair if you become an arrogant, and this is when you bring
Dr. Datta, in that you're acknowledging one very basic fact, that every Indian is free to vote and express his or her will freely, which is so brilliant, because all that we ever hear from the opposition is that democracy is dead in India, that we are getting ramrodded. Now that those results won't be coming if either the EVMs were fixed, or the institutions were aligned, or democracy was dead. I just want to say, on the point of inflation, viewers, yes, of course, inflation went up. It has come down. But India's inflation rate was the lowest amongst most developing countries, most advanced economies. India at 7% last year and 4.3%. And let me tell you a little bit about our currency. In fact, India's currency, viewers, devalued the least. The currencies of Japan, South Korea, America, the yen, all of these currencies tanked at much higher rates. Not America, sorry, but the United Kingdom at much higher rates against the Indian currency, against the dollar, than the Indian currency did. And I have the statistics right there. So
Rahul, may I please come
and no one is saying, India is perfect right now. We all want to be in a position where there is zero poverty. Yes, Sanju Verma, very quickly, 30 seconds, because I have to bring in the other doctor as well as Mr. Meka. Please, very quickly.
Thank you. Rahul, as you rightly said, inflation has started trending down in a big way. The latest retail inflation number was 4.7% and wholesale inflation
we know all that.
was actually a negative 0.92%. Please let me have my 30 seconds. Wholesale inflation was actually a negative 0.92%, but be that as it may, you know, when people say, what did Modi achieve by going abroad and, having such big events attended with so much of fanfare? I will just say this. In the first 8.5 years of the Narendra Modi dispensation, we roped in $532 billion of foreign direct investment, which translates into an average of $66.5 billion every year. And Rahul, 10 seconds. Do you know what the average foreign direct investment inflow was during the 10-year rule of the UPA? $10.9 billion. On the one hand, 10.9. On the other hand, 66.5.
Yeah, that's a figure that I also have, which I elucidated upon yesterday in a debate of a similar nature. Okay, Dr. Jayaraj, let's talk data. Dr. Jayaraj, you're from the left. What's the problem? What's the problem? Why is everyone continually suggesting that Mr. Modi's popularity is a function, really, of event management?
Actually, what happened we have to look at what happened in Australia. You have to, you have to hear both sides of the coin. You have to look at both sides of the coin.
Sure.
We have already heard one side of the coin, and you have to look at in another context also. Because Australia is a settler colony. If you go to Canada, you can see Justin Trudeau is always, pro-Sikh because of the electoral politics over there. In Australia, there's a huge Indian diaspora is there. So, and this crony capitalism with particular interest, economical interest and political interest has played a role in Australia. Because we all know that 12,000 crores of Indian money is funded to Mr. Adani. Is funded to Mr. Adani for mining in Australia by SBI.
So, are you saying that are you saying that Australian prime ministers are risking their political capital to advance the cause of Adani? Now, I thought Adani had only one friend, and that was Modani. Now he has Albanese also.
See, we cannot invest in UK. We cannot invest in UK. Please.
Sir, okay. Now I'm a little confused. Tell me about Albanese.
A lot of environmental activists are even.
Tell me about Albanese and Adani.
Rahul, 5 seconds.
Yes.
Rahul,
okay, doctor. Yeah, doctor. 1 second, doctor. Yes. Dr. Jayaraj, you are from Kerala. You represent the left parties. Is Mr. Adani doing any business with the Kerala government? Is he digging a ditch there for Manrega, or is he actually building a port?
Yes, he is building the Virginia port over there.
Oh, right. I just wanted, that's it, that's enough. That does it for me. That does it for me. So, Mr. Adani is building a multi-thousand crore port in Kerala.
Yes.
Okay, and you don't like the fact that he is working in Australia. Dr. Ranganathan, yes. 1 minute, Dr. Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, please. Yeah. Everyone is silent. Dr. Ranganathan, yes.
No, I just wanted to say, as with every communist, this gentleman sounded very intelligent and then he spoke. No, the fact of the matter is he's accusing Modi of crony capitalism. He hates Adani clearly. I want to ask him, the Kerala government has allowed Adani to make a port in Kerala worth thousands of crores. In fact, it is raising 400 crores to aid Adani for his port. Now, I want to ask him, if you believe Adani is a crony capitalist and corrupt, have you blocked that? Have you stopped that port or not? Answer it.
Rahul, 10
with whatever sense you have.
Rahul, 10 seconds.
Okay. It's my answer. Okay, it is not the way. It is not mining purpose is happening in Kerala. It's a building. It's a tender for a port only. It's a tender for a port only, and it's a constructive and creative activity. It was a global tender, and it was started by the Congress government, and it was continued.
I think we've exposed him.
Problem with communists.
I think we've exposed him well and truly.
This is the problem with communists.
Yeah, they'd rather have. I think the left government would rather have. Yeah, okay. One second. I don't look. Let's not go around.
They want India to be Venezuela. That's what they want.
Okay, and I just want to also very quickly. One second. I just want to very quickly also remind Dr. Jayaraman a particular thing. This is from the Manorama. The Left Democratic Front will hold an awareness rally in support of the 𝐼𝐮 International Seaport Project, which is caught in agitation by fisherfolk of the region. So the mining is okay.
Yeah.
The mining is bad because people, indigenous people, are going to lose their land to Adani. But the fisher folk can go to hell. And I think the fisher folk, viewers, contribute significantly to the Kerala economy. So here's the choice. I want to bring in Mr. Meka. That's enough. Done, Dr. Jayaraj. Please, get your facts right. Don't come to this channel. Don't come to this show without facts, because I'll ask you the most penetrative questions. Now, Shyam Prasad Meka. Sir, the Congress has maintained that Modi's influence results from lower his weight. I don't like people talking over me. Please. Shyam Prasad Meka has been extremely patient, representing the Congress tonight, bona fide representative. The Congress has maintained that Modi's influence results from event management, media management. But surely this cannot be the case when it comes to foreign leaders. Are you saying that the reaction of Modi of foreign leaders, Mr. Meka, is managed by the BJP also? Just this answer, that's all.
First of all, we have no problem. Yeah, I accept that Modi is a brand or an image that's the best marketed and strong. No question about it. And especially anything that is Indian is a bigger brand anywhere in the world today. We are 1/6 to 1/5 of the population of the world, and most of our population are being lifted from below poverty line and upwards, and we are the biggest market. Anything that's Indian is going to be the biggest brand. No. What about Prime Minister? Of course he will be the biggest brand in the entire world. Prime Minister of India. It's not some small little country, right? It's the biggest market and biggest economy of the world and the raising power. So I have no issues on that. We agree that, and also I appreciate the fact that the brand and the image.
Sir, we all know that. We have the BJP spokesperson, Mr. Meka, to tell us a little bit about the Modi brand, and she has. Can you talk a little bit about Rahul Gandhi's brand? Now, all the event management that goes in there, how come it doesn't ensure that the Congress gets some spin-off benefits from the Rahul Gandhi brand? I've given you some statistics. Can you respond on those?
I will tell you, Rahul. In India, even a losing brand in India is a bigger brand in the world. It may be very less when compared to Narendra Modi, but still the other leaders in India have a better popularity than a president of France.
Okay, fair enough, sir. You are entitled to that view, and we should not be responsible. No, we should be responsible.
Another suspended congressman tomorrow.
Well, Mr. Shyam Prasad Meka is a true believer, and we must respect his point of view, viewers. We are not mocking anybody for their beliefs. Yes, Riju Datta, very quickly, 10 seconds. Please, I have to move on. Yeah.
Yes, I just want to tell the left, because we have a very close relationship with the communists in Bengal who ruled Bengal and destroyed Bengal for 34 years. I will only say this, a party or a group of people whose ideology is based on a philosopher who was popular in 1 or 2 countries and eventually died of syphilis should not talk about this country, its country's gains, its country's popularity, and how and about capitalism and corruption.
Dr. Datta.
If I remember, apart from Adani, if I remember, the chief minister of Kerala is probed for a gold scam.
Okay.
So,
well, Dr. Datta, you're giving Sanju Verma a little bit of a heart attack. You might just find yourself in the BJP tomorrow as an impaneled spokesperson, so be careful. Okay, guys. Very quickly, viewers, I understand. You're a true patriot. And Dr. Datta, thank you very much. You put the left in their place. Think about the Congress next. Yes, maybe next show. Now, let me just very quickly play out this soundbite, viewers, of the Prime Minister, where he asks rhetorically the entire gathering there some questions. Here it is.
आज दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी और सबसे युवा टैलेंट फैक्ट्री जिस देश में है वो है सही जवाब दे रहे हैं आप, वो है इंडिया। मैं ये बात फिर दोहरा रहा हूं, आज दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी और सबसे युवा टैलेंट फैक्ट्री जिस देश में है वो है और अब मैं आपके सामने ऐसे ही कुछ फैक्ट रखूंगा और आपसे सही उत्तर जानना चाहूंगा, ठीक है? रेडी? कोरोना की इस ग्लोबल पैंडेमिक में जिस देश ने दुनिया का सबसे तेज वैक्सीनेशन प्रोग्राम चलाया, वो देश है आज जो देश दुनिया की फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग लार्ज इकोनॉमी है वो है आज जो देश दुनिया में नंबर 1 स्मार्टफोन डेटा कंज्यूमर है वो देश है आज जो देश फिनटेक एडॉप्शन रेट में नंबर 1 है वो देश है